Okay, this is a quick lesson carrying on from some of the linear stroke, twin pedal, double bass, drop-in kind of lessons we've done. And it also is a handy way of featuring a rudiment. The rudiment in question is what I've always called a four-stroke ruff. So I'm playing from right to left and from left to right. I'm making sure the student's pretty familiar with that before we go any further. The accent should be on the last note, and in theory the preceding three notes are grace notes. So in other words, you could be played, or could be played, or even. So they're very, very light grace notes. They're written smaller than the main accent. So in theory, that's your four-stroke ruff. So what I normally do when I'm giving this particular lesson is get the student to make up some kind of Toy Town Tin Soldier march, like 1, 2, 3. Kind of thing. Of course, before doing that, we should be familiar with the ruff. So I'm actually going to just backtrack a second, because it's very important to get the right to left aspect of this. So you start with your right hand, you finish on your left, and you start with your left and finish on your right. Or match grip. Techniques that are available for that include this sort of drop catch. The hand that's playing the accent even I'm sort of dropping that in. But to move on, the idea is that the accent's on the last note. So there's our little march thing. Now, then what I normally do is, just for fun, is get the student to play some of the ruffs off one of the toms. So although we're still, I'm accenting the last note. That kind of idea. Now then, a good orchestration for this ruff, of course, is the rock and roll, where the accent is on the bass drum note. So you're going 1, 2, like that. So we're playing down the kit. So then what I'm saying is, let's take that kind of marchy thing and use that orchestration whenever we want to hear the ruff. So we could go. And then we can start to include those ruffs in this kind of fill. So where we might go. Okay, so far so good. Now, the one that I want to get to, the kind of purpose of the lesson really, is this orchestration, which is 2 bass drum notes, a floor tom and a snare drum. The accent being, that's the downbeat. So we're going 2 on the bass, 1 on the right hand, those are the 3 grace notes, left hand is the downbeat. we then, what I was doing then was our Tin Soldier March, diddly-yat, dat, dat, diddly-yat, dat, dat. Okay, and we could start to other toms instead of the floor tom. Now once that's done, a really interesting way to get this going around the kit is to fill in the missing two notes. If we treat those three notes not so much as grace notes now, but as actual triplets. So like 1, 2, 3. It means that there's a couple of notes missing. 1, 2 notes missing in the gap, which I'm going to play on the snare. And that's right, left. So you've got bass, bass, right, left, right, left. Now, the important thing to bear in mind here, as far as this lesson is concerned, is that the left hand is the downbeat. So really, you start with the left hand, you go left, right, left, bass, bass, right. That's the last note. Which gives us the effect of so we're still using that, but now we're getting, so I'm down on there, so I'm 1, 2, 3, 4. You can of course look at it from the other way. You can look at it as coming up from the ruff. So we're starting before the beat. There's the beat on the left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm just filling in the space. It doesn't matter, you come to the same conclusion at the end. So what I'm getting the student to do is to start with the left hand on the downbeat. Which is very cool. Now, if we want to finish it off, bearing in mind that the last 3 notes are, because that's the downbeat, so the downbeat will be on the cymbal. So we get, okay, bass, bass, right, left hand crash. So that's worth investigating. Finish it early, so I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, stop on 4. Or I can just roll out and stop on the end of 4. 1, finishing on the right hand that would actually be a bass drum note. Sorry. Would be a bass drum, but I'm not. I'm going to finish. I'm going to make it a right hand note. That's how I finish. So I get. Last but not least, we can use the twin pedal, so my feet are going right, left. Okay, and we can change the orchestration. The feel we're getting is a 6-stroke roll feel. So I can come off these two. I can alternate between here and here. All kinds of things. So there you go. That's quite a handy lesson. Bearing in mind, we knew where we wanted to finish up with that kind of use of the ruff. So to begin that lesson, to get to that point, it was quite nice to start with a 4-stroke ruff. Make sure the student's got the grounding. Incidentally, I've always called that a 4-stroke ruff. I've heard it and seen it described as a single-stroke 4. Who can tell these days? Anyway, there you go.